This is one of the most interesting and unput-downable books that I've read in a while. The 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I'm at a loss for words for how much I enjoyed this book. When a book starts with, let's start with the end of the world, why don't we? Get it over with and move on to more interesting things. I'm hooked. That's like right up there with I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war from Red Rising. Like that's gonna be a line I'm gonna remember forever. So I'm gonna do my best to not spoil this because this was such an interesting read. There's 3 different women that you're following through this journey, and one of the perspectives is in second person, which that's not very common in fantasy books. And every time I come across a second person perspective, I find it so interesting. I know a lot of people say that it kind of doesn't let them get as immersed in this story, but the way that it was written in this story, it just blew me away. I was captivated. This world has 4 seasons like our world does, but then there's the 5th season, and the 5th season is always some cataclysmic Armageddon type event, volcanoes erupting, ash, like world-ending stuff, and the people have adapted to live with this. There's people in this world that kind of are like earthbenders, to put it simply. It's a little bit more complicated than that, and they're able to kind of stop these like earthquakes and cataclysmic events, but they're also able to start them. The regular people fear them. They have these guardians that also have these supernatural powers that train them and discipline them. This book gets pretty dark. It doesn't leave a lot to the imagination when it comes to how brutal this world is, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. One of the things I find myself enjoying when I'm reading is when I have questions and it's not laid out for me. I like to question, to put the pieces together like a puzzle and try and like, what is this power system? What's the world like? Instead of a bunch of exposition that kind of spells things out for me, I like to really have to use my brain to figure out what's going on. And this is what this book did. And it had a super interesting twist towards the end that I kind of did see coming, but it was also so unique, and I've never read a book that did it like that before, that I, again, was just floored with it, and I immediately started book 2. So if you haven't read the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, I highly, highly recommend this to you. I don't even know what to classify. It's like fantasy, but sci-fi, dystopian, post-apocalyptic. It touches so many genres that it's really in a class of its own. This is definitely a top 10 read for me, and I kind of was in a reading slump. I didn't do a lot of reading this past month. Maybe this getting me out of a reading slump kind of gave it some more brownie points, but hey, all I can say is I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'll be recommending everybody read it. So if you've read the 5th season, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Try and keep it spoiler free, but to me this was incredible. It was super unique, and I absolutely loved it. Love you.